All right, how's it going, everybody? Hopefully you're having a good Monday morning. I guess it's about afternoon now. So today we're just gonna do a static video over Bitcoin, Ethereum. We may look at XRP, and then we'll look at the SPY, gold, and then silver. All right, so as you should always start out before you ever think about starting a trade. Let's get these off here. You need to be able to identify the environment that you're trading in. Well, here on the daily, it's something we've been talking about here for a while. Originally we had this lower high right here. But on the downside, we didn't really get a lot of reaction off of that because if we do zoom in here, you can see we ever so slightly built very minimal bearish momentum, and then we pop back to the upside just to make another. The volume's just been disappeared. It's really been lacking the volume the last couple of days, and I think maybe the weekend had something to do with this. But looking at it now, you can see we are making a clear lower high and bullish momentum, and this is on the daily time scale. So this would be a bearish indicator. If we go to the 4-hour, technically, if you look at this from the blue standpoint, we made about an even high. Maybe you could say this is slightly higher, but overall, it still wasn't that impressive of a run. And right now we're in the process of building the next bearish momentum wave. So we'll see how this grows. You can see it's getting, we are building a little bit of momentum, because when you do cross these lines, that shows that there is quite a bit of momentum behind these moves, and that's the 4-hour. Taking a look at the 1-hour, now we did pop a buy green dot. So basically what we're going to be looking for now is confirmation to see if we can confirm this green dot. And if you follow the white line, basically the shape it's putting out, we are growing on the selling pressure here. So we'll use even a more minimal time frame. It looks like bulls are trying to hold this right here. This is the 15-minute. Let's get this off here. So you can see right here where we popped our green dot, and then we did show a lower high and bearish momentum, but this is just the 15. So, I'm still leaning bearish, but the bulls are still holding on barely. We do have decent support here at about 10,050. But we do kind of have a fundamental aspect to Bitcoin that could possibly kind of help it. I don't know why this is doing this, but so if you haven't been watching the news, there was Saudi Arabia was attacked. It's still, no one really knows who did it. I know a lot of people are saying it was Iran. And so the stock market is taking a bit of a hit today, and your safe havens are having a little bit of a jump as well, especially like oil. So, it's kind of surprising to see Bitcoin actually take a hit from that, because you would think, being a safe haven, Bitcoin would maybe have a more positive reaction, and it really didn't. You can see here we had a nice, this isn't really a bearish engulfing candle. It's not that big. See here on the 1-hour though. Oh, dang, I need to get this brush off. But here on the 1-hour, you can see we did have this is confirmed. See what it looks like on the 4-hour. It's not that large of one, but we roughly had maybe about $150 swift move to the downside pretty quickly. But something I want to bring to your attention is, do you see where we bounced off of? This is our support box we've been talking about. It's right around 10,050. So we had a nice little bounce here. So for me, I'm going to be watching the momentum indicator, so your MACD and the market cipher B, the blue waves, pretty closely today. We know our trading pattern. We are in a bearish environment right now. So I'm really going to be watching like the 15, the 30 minute, and the 1-hour today. The reason being is, if Bitcoin does want to turn bearish again, I'm going to be looking to open up a short somewhere around 10,200, 10,250. Basically our old support that we've just been talking about for a few days here. Let's get our box up here. We want to put this bottom at 10,200. So it's really from about 10,180 to about 10,250 is where I'm going to be looking to possibly enter a short here. Um, but once again, it is very interesting to see that we had a little bit of a catalyst to test the safe haven status, and we did have a reaction to the downside. I have my watch list over here. The S&P 500 is really not down that much. Oil's up about 10% today. So that's actually pretty amazing for an asset like that. But, looking at Bitcoin here, you have to hold this 10,050 area. If you break that, if you use your fibs from a short-term standpoint, like, I think, what is it, 7,500? It's either 7,500 or the 9,000. It's when you're doing it as a short-term fib, retracement, not from your exact bottom at like 3,100. You do have your 618 at roughly $9,900, and that's where I have this green line here, and you can see all the reactions that we've had off this. So you have your 10,050, your 9,900 support, and then of course the bottom of this box, which we've had this for weeks now. It's 9,750, 9,008. If we break that, I'm fully expecting a $9,500 to $9,600 test for Bitcoin. Now on the upside, uh, we have flipped 9,180 to 9,250. This support box, obviously we're under it. The longer we stay under it, the harder it's going to be to break above. And you can see we actually had a test of it today, got ever so close to it, and we actually failed. We actually wicked right off of it. So, but if we can break above 9,000, or I'm sorry, 10,250, I think we'll probably go back and maybe test maybe 10,400 again. Basically, this old resistance line that we just couldn't break. So, I'm leaning bearish on Bitcoin, but I'm not like overly bearish right now because there's a lot of catalysts that should be positive for Bitcoin right now. So it is pretty shocking to see, the price. I don't really want to say it's shocking, but it's just, you know what I mean. You would think it would have a more anything but really negative, because the gold. We'll check gold here in a little bit, but a lot of your, your safe haven, your hedging against the stock market, those assets have actually done. Seems like they're having a bit of a rebound today. Let's see here. Yeah, gold's up about 1%. So we're going to look at Ethereum now. All right, so the current price of Ethereum is about $190. 100, let's just say 191. Ethereum did go up, and we did test this 195 area that we've been talking about. This 195, 198. It's this last little hump you have before you have to test your more significant resistance at 200 to 205. But if you can break above this, you first got to get through this 195, 198, this little area of touch points. They're really, I could honestly draw another box here. I just don't want it to be overcrowded. But if you can break above that 195, 198 area, you will have a test of your 2,000 or your 200 to 205. And if you break that, I'm fully expecting us to test at least 215 to 225 right up here. Now, it's a little too far-fetched for now, but if Ethereum can break and hold above 235 on the 4-hour, our old trade setup will go back active again. It's not that the trade setup failed last time, we just never broke above it. It was always contingent on 235 breaking. But if you break 235, I'm fully expecting a test of at least $250, but more so the 260 to 265. So you have this 195, 198 area, and then your more major resistance from 200 to 205. With support, you're trying to hold it at about 195, or I'm sorry, $190. And then you have, your more solid support box here from about 180. So 180 and then 185. If we're going to look at market cipher here, we're still growing here on the daily, so you don't really want to put too much in that. Now, the 4 hours where things start looking a little interesting. We did make a higher high here, but if you look closely, we had a very powerful wave but once again, the second wave of this just wasn't as strong. And now you haven't gotten across yet, but you are starting to lean down on these lines up here. So maybe we get a little bit of downward action here. It didn't have nearly the negative reaction that Bitcoin did this morning. And honestly, Bitcoin really didn't even have that bad of an impulse to the downside. But let's check the 1 hour. 1 hour actually doesn't look too bad. Actually looks like we could be setting up to possibly a buy the dip situation. But if Bitcoin's going to turn bearish, I really don't want to be too bullish on Ethereum right now. But you can see here, it looks like we're going to be forming a lower level of bearish momentum. And if you take your brush, you can see here the selling pressure, and we're starting to build this next wave right here. There's a lot of nice buy pressure coming in. So take a look at even our closer one. Yeah. So basically, what can you take from this? Ethereum's already had a nice push. We just need to maintain this volume because we are starting to get to that pretty tough resistance area that we failed last time we were up here. So the bulls need to take control. They need to keep this volume up, or honestly, just like Bitcoin, you will fall in price. Bitcoin last night, we were sitting right up against, our short-term resistance. The indicators were kind of showing lower levels of bullish momentum, and we did have a fall. So we're going to keep a close eye on this, but just like just like Bitcoin, I'm going to be paying attention to my 1 hour, my 15, 30, and 45-minute. Really, the closer time frames are what I'm going to be watching today. All right. So we're going to take a look at SPY real quick. All right, so you can see here, SPY, we were literally right at the top of our resistance. Of our resistance box right here. It's about $302.50. We did come up here and we did fail. But a lot of this was the catalyst because there's a lot of rumors that Trump could be taking action. There's rumors that it could be Iran that blew up Saudi Arabia. So there was a negative reaction on this. But as we talked last night, I would like to see this bottom box get tested here of this it's no longer resistance because obviously we're above it now. But I'd like to see if we can flip, maybe $299 and hold that as support now. So $299, you're more short term, but your immediate support box after that is going to be about $298 and about $296.50. You can see the touch points here across the bottom. And then you can see the cluster of touch points here on the top. And then, I don't think we're going to have this happen, but if for some reason we got overly bearish, I would be looking at 294 to about, maybe 292.50 roughly. You can see the touch points here across the bottom, and then your touch points here across the top. So let's see if we can hold 299. If not, I believe you're going to have a 298 and then about 296.50 as support. And if you're looking for resistance, we're gonna have to try to break this $301 resistance again, and then of course the top of our box, which is at about 302.50. But if you can break above 302.50, especially if you can close a daily above it, oh man, the stock market will start looking really bullish again. Because if we do zoom out here on the daily, you will see. Look how bullish this pattern's been. You're just like any asset or any market, you will have dips every now and then. It's just normal, but every major dip is really getting bought up. So, wow, what an incredible dip there. So, that's SPY. Now let's go look at GLD, the gold. Gold had a little bit of a spike up here. So you can see where we bounced right off of our support box, which is about $140. Your current price is $141 and about just under 80 cents. So, we had a nice bounce off $140. If for some reason you break that, I'm not sure how likely it is now because our trade setup's already played out. Um, Actually, let's get the Heiken Ashy candles on this one. But if you look at the chart as a whole, we've been talking about this short play forever from 148 to 150. And you can see we got ever so close to it and when we failed. So we pretty much already called about a 5 to 6% correction in gold. But if you break 140, I'll definitely be looking at the, probably about the 135, $136 area. And then your more strong support here at about $130, that 128, 130. So, and if you're looking at resistance, the next resistance area is going to be about 143. And then, of course, where we failed, which is at about $147. This is the GLD. This is just like the gold trust. And then finally, let's take a look at silver. Do I have it over here? There you go. I made our little playlist here so I can kind of just click through them. So on silver here, once again, you had another beautiful bounce off about $17.40 right on our support box. And now, we have broken above this. So this line right now, this actually should have been red because we were under it yesterday. But now we've broken above it. So let's see if we can hold. But we had a very nice bounce off of our 382 at 1740. So we had our nice bounce. If we're looking for our first area of resistance, and look how beautiful it coincides with our 236. I will be looking for, you will have the $18, just a psychological number. But you're at $17.92. The next area of major resistance after 18 will be about $18.36. I'm sorry, at 30 cents, 18.30, right at your 236. And you can just see how perfectly it matches up here. We go to the 4 hour to be more apparent. Yeah, right across the top here. So, with silver, you want to try to hold, about $17.75. And then, of course, where our 382 is, here at $17 and about 40 cents. You've had a nice bounce, so let's see if we can hold 17.75. That would be pretty nice here. But once again, you have your $18 psychological resistance, and then you have our, the 236 here at about $18 and roughly 30 cents. So that pretty much sums up our cryptos and our stocks. I just really wanted to look because there is a correlation a lot of times between the stock market, the safe havens, and cryptocurrency. So, and honestly, I like to show this stuff because, just look how beautiful this fib layout works. If you really want to learn technical analysis, the stocks are really a helpful tool because, technical analysis, it was founded in the stock market, and it's just, I don't know, it's where I came from, and it's hard to kind of get too far away from stocks. So, but nonetheless, that pretty much sums up this static video. I have to work on some of the Patreon night educational videos today. If Bitcoin breaks below 10,050, I will go live immediately early. But I will see you on our stream tonight. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the Discord.